What is going on? Happy 2024. All right, I got to start off this show by saying right off the bat, you guys are so rough on me with the time thing. If we don't start a live stream right on the dot, if we're like 3 seconds late, that's it. Everybody goes nuts and starts calling it out in the chat. But we already got some great people here. Giovanna's here. Wayne is here. I know what year is this? I'm trying to figure out which way is up. We've got some channel member super chats already. Barry's been a member for 4 months. Jetman, he's always giving me a hard time, but he has been a proud member for 15 months. He says Wayne is mediocre at bowling. I think that's as big of an insult as you can give Wayne as possible. Dr. John is here. Steven is here. Aussie Pop and Paul is here. Susan is here. Grace is here. Anna's here. Cross saved. What is going on? Guys, let's kick off the first Pop Fource One of 2024 by bringing in some brand new guests. You've never seen them before, but they're about to rock your socks off. Please welcome in Professor Josh and the Poppin' Duo. What's up, guys?
I was looking around for those other guests you're bringing in.
Josh, I was doing the same thing. I'm like, oh my God, did we get replaced? Like in the 30-second intro, did we get replaced or what?
You guys will remain behind stage. We'll bring in the new people.
Just
Let's
trying to
rock some
confuse
socks
everybody.
off.
Just trying to confuse everybody. Sheila has been a member of the channel for a full year. Thank you,
Let's
Sheila.
go.
First PFO of 2024. Oh, God. Anna, this is terrible. Every minute John is late, he should be eating some really spicy food. That's cruel. That hurts.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That might make John even more late, though. Like, he might be late because, stuck in the bathroom or something.
Yeah, no, exactly.
John
Right?
can't handle spicy.
Guys, I had to shell out quite a bit of dough to get these guests on. So ask them as many questions as possible. They're hard people to track down.
Especially in 2024.
But we didn't have PFO last week, and I definitely missed it. But how are you guys? How's life? Welcome to 2024.
Relaxing and
absolutely
busy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Relaxing, busy, everything. All that kind of stuff all in one. It's like, yay, a little break, but yay, back to everything.
Yeah, I feel like it sneaks up so fast. Like you just start to get into like vacation/relaxation mode, and then all of a sudden you find yourself back in traffic.
We have 2 large sides of our family, so I had about 4 hours to relax over all of the holiday.
Makes sense.
We're either at a party or preparing for a party or
shopping for something.
Shopping for parties. Yeah. But I'm not complaining. It was a good holiday season, but there's that excitement for after the holiday. Christmas time is my 100% favorite time of the year, but like those couple weeks after, at least the first 2 weeks, it's a little bit of a downer, and then I'm ready to get into, you know what I mean? Get into some regularity.
I don't know. I really enjoy the build up to Christmas, and then Christmas just kind of comes and goes, and then I'm kind of bummed because I don't know. Maybe you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I felt like Christmas, like the Christmas spirit, almost like the songs in the stores and the decorations around town. I felt like that used to linger a little bit more, and now it's just like boom, right into Valentine's Day, and it's like,
yeah, you got to be ready for it's now. See, we celebrate it now, November 1st, because you're right. They move everything out. Like Halloween is over by like the middle of October. They ever bring the Christmas stuff out. But November 1st now, like we stretch it out at the beginning. We go November 1st to, I still have my Christmas lights on. I think I'm going to be the last one in my subdivision to actually keep our lights on, but I just roll like that.
There you go. But I like that. I like having that like extended, I don't know, because I just feel like people are happier. I mean, we're all like super busy, of course, because we're running around, we're getting presents and rushing from family's house to big party to big meal and everything. But I feel like generally people are like happier. And then like now, once like real life gets back to real life, I feel like there's a lot of people that just go back to being like not grumpy, but they're just different. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
I think I like the kids get like 2 weeks of like I wish I had that like full 2 weeks of like break. Like they feel like I don't think at least around here I don't think they go back all of them to like Monday. So
that's nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
my kids went back on Wednesday. Oh, hi, Mom.
Well,
before
we
mom's speedy recovery. My mom's been under the weather. Everybody send thoughts.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that going
many
around.
people.
Joanna just finally turned the corner. I feel like she's like 85% back to normal.
Yeah, it's been crazy bad. Yeah, it's been crazy bad. Yeah, and the holidays really helped spread that quickly.
Spread the cheer.
Well, we have a couple of questions in the chat that I want to address before we get too far behind. So Dave's kicking off 2024 with a toughie. He says it's 2024. Will we finally see a fourth PFO member?
Probably not. I mean, well, actually, will we, guys? Should we talk about that at some point?
Or maybe we'll get replaced, Vince, or something like that. I mean, John.
I like personally, and I'll say this. I feel like we've said this like behind closed doors, off the record. I'll say this on the record. I really like the three of us. I think we have good chemistry. I'm not saying that there isn't other great people out there, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for us to have some guests, maybe do some like collab nights almost with some other content creators. But
we got a Foursquare we could fill up.
Yeah,
once in a while.
I really liked the ladies' night that we did a couple weeks ago. That was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Next question comes from Cindy. She says, "Are any of you full-time YouTubers? If not, what is your day job?"
Definitely not.
We're not.
I don't even know if I'm a part-time YouTuber. I feel like I'm like a quarter-time. I don't even know if I'm a YouTuber yet, Cindy. We've done like 500 videos. I still don't think I'm a YouTuber.
Nice. Josh, you want to go first at that? Take a crack?
Yeah. So
I feel like yours is the easiest.
I mean, two things. I do two. Actually, I have like 5 jobs. I feel like YouTuber. I guess half the time don't count as a job. But I work full time at a library, and then also I teach too, professor at a college. So a little bit of both worlds.
He's actually a professor.
Yes,
actually a professor.
Vince,
you full-time YouTuber, 100% not. It would be great. I feel like setting your own schedule and making your own content that would be fun. I would love to do that, but no, YouTube does not pay that great. I mean, not for us. We're tiny people, but so no. And we're in the construction business.
Nice. I am hopefully, well, it's not even really like full-time YouTube because we're going to be like doing other things later in the year. So I'm transitioning halfway through this year. But as of right now, I'm a full-time professional bull rider.
You got to learn. It's a hard living, but somebody's got to do it, as they say.
It's needed in Boston, though. I mean, that's where all the bull riding action is.
Yeah, it's a real hotbed.
Yeah.
But no, I'm actually active duty Coast Guard. I am a ship inspector. That's what I do for right now. Oh, thank you, Brian. He says no replacing y'all. Oh, another question. Seth says, what is the deal with the lack of soda drops? Ooh, this has been...
Guys, I was actually going to bring that up.
I've been seeing people get itchy here in the community with no new sodas, not like any kind of crazy big pop drops right now. I think it's fantastic. So it's good.
I think,
because it makes people ask this very question. Where's the new sodas? Where's the next drop?
I'll be honest though, with the sodas, I'm a little bit worried. I'm worried that sodas are going to be going the way of Dorbs.
You think so?
Yeah.
Ouch. I mean, I think they slowed down so much. It's interesting, like where
it's almost weird.
They haven't really, but there's still some that haven't come out yet too. There's some that have been announced that haven't like made their way out yet. So still waiting on a couple of those. But man, like, what would happen if they stopped making? We want the rest of the Haunted Mansion Ghost. We need the rest of the crew. We need, so many things that they've kind of slowed down on. So it's the curious of what they're doing. But the last several like new bigger soda drops have been at
cons,
least,
really though.
well, cons and also coolers. Like
And
coolers, which is
think
weird.
before that, like when's been our like Hatbox? What came out around Hatbox? Have we got anything after that?
Tapatio
Man.
Tapatio Man came
Tapatio.
after, which
Yeah.
way too big of a number. I mean,
Way too
maybe
big
they
of a
slowed
number.
it down too because they have to figure out this number thing. Maybe they had all these like unnumbered plans and realized people don't buy them and retailers
Right.
don't want them now. So now they have to switch modes. But yeah, I'm curious of like those that are retailers out there. Have they seen any hit? They haven't seen any hit their list.
Yeah,
and
but,
things like that for a
right.
while.
but both you guys have been collecting for a while, even though we haven't had our channels for relatively too long. There was like in the traditional regular days of Funko, there was a lull. Like we are in like the heart of a lull. There would typically be like, with the exception of like Black Friday and the Christmas box that they would drop on the Funko shop, from like New York Comic Con to Toy Fair, which is typically in like, end of January, beginning of February timeframe, there was like nothing announced, nothing released, nothing coming. And it was actually kind of perfect because it allowed everybody to kind of recover for Christmas time and everything.
Oh,
I
think it's a good thing. I think it's
think
a good
great.
thing that there's a lull. I
But
think
don't
everybody
think
needed
that, I've heard some rumblings of people saying like they think like sodas are going away, and I don't think so, because I mean, even Dorbs in the peak of their success, they never sold. I can't
No.
imagine they've even sold a 1/1000th of the amount of sodas that they've sold. Like you didn't see Dorbs in stores. People weren't pre-ordering 6 to 8 Dorbs at a time. Like,
no, you're right. And I mean, there's limited, like I have a couple limited Dorbs to like 1,500 pieces, but those were pretty easy to get. And like some places they're still available. So I'm not comparing them to Dorbs in any way. What I'm worried about is like, other than the cooler, like there's been a couple that have not come out yet, but I mean, there's really just
like 3-liter Maui hasn't come out. That's been sitting on the shop for a while. Oh, I think the soda before Hatbox Ghost that came out was Cesar Romero Joker. Yeah. Right? Didn't that come out shortly?
Did that come out?
Yeah, that came out. It dropped on the Funko Shop and it sold out. And then I know some other retailers have been having a hard time keeping that one in stock. So that one's
okay.
That one must have
didn't even realize that one came out, which is bad.
Yeah, I think, you know what I think it is? There's a perception too that like Funko is actually doing a really terrible job of like announcing things. Like if you want to criticize them for one thing, I think they did terribly in 2023, amongst some other things, is their marketing was awful. Like we were getting con announcements from like giant influencers on Instagram. Like why is Disc Trackers and Funko Finders posting a brand new or like announcing a con exclusive pop 2 days before the con, before Funko even announces it?
This year was super. Yeah, this year was super weird. The way that they did like everything around it felt really, really weird. Just yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a weird year. Like you said, Jen, I'm kind of glad that there's a lull, and kind of playing off of what Josh said as well. Maybe they reevaluated, and maybe why we're like, there was some other sodas leaked. Like I know there was a Captain Rex leaked, and we're supposed to be getting that. But was that supposed to be an unnumbered? And then they're switching? Like, are things switching? Are they going to do something where they're going to pull some of these numbers back now?
Those leaks come from like people that just make. There's people on Instagram, unfortunately, they're sometimes fake leaks where they'll just make lists, and literally all they do is just put a random name of a character next to the soda logo, and they just go coming soon, and like.
This leak I seen though on an order sheet from somebody.
No, I did see that too. I saw there was a retailer who was very kind, and I won't reveal them, but they shared with us that there was quite a few Star Wars sodas that
Yes,
were
quite a few.
like of characters that to me, I don't know. Like if Funko pulled them, I would understand why they pulled them, but like if there was actually an Asajj Ventress soda in the
I
works,
saw
like
the
that
same thing.
blows my mind because they haven't made her pop. Like some of those characters on there to me just in Star Wars world would get people excited and people would buy them, but I don't know if there would be enough hype to sell like no one knows who Asajj Ventress is. Most Star Wars collectors don't even know
Star
who
Wars
Ventress
collectors do, because if you watch any kind of Star Wars stuff that people talk about
Well,
Funko,
I'm just
that is
well
like the
Funko,
#1 request.
but
But
I'm saying
you're right.
anybody, your standard Star Wars fan, I'm talking like somebody who's just turned on The Mandalorian in 2019. They have no idea who we're talking about.
Not a clue. Yeah, they won't have
You
a
know,
clue.
she's a villain from the Clone Wars, like animated show. Like that's where you would know her. But there was other characters on there too that I mean, I don't know. But yes, there was that retailer list that went around. However, there's also been several other rumors and leaks of stuff that didn't come out throughout the year. So when you see that stuff, unless it's announced, I would say, unfortunately, if it's not announced by diss trackers or Funko themselves, it might not be legit. You know,
It might not be legit. It may never see the light of day.
yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to see more. Like I said, once are they going to do the bigger releases where they release a bunch at once, like for the year at these toy fairs and stuff like that throughout the year, like kind of hold back and release these bigger like amounts of things? Because like we said, it takes them a while to slow down. It might have finally got to the point where
This might be the choke point where there's
Which
so
would
many-
be
might be
awesome.
the point. And they'll show what's coming. But also remember, when they show what's coming, that's coming for the year, not coming for like next week or like a month from now. Like a lot of times when they show at the toy fair, they're like showing for the year because they want to get new retailers on board, or you know, show off different things and get some things going on and maybe pick up some new stuff. And you know, doing those kind of things are, I think, a part of what it is. But yeah, we've had so many. We haven't really had those like those weird drops where like the retailers are all ready for them, though. You know, the sodas to come and like sell the sodas and get pre-orders, like that kind of thing hasn't happened in a while. Like there's no like, oh, this many dropped and you got to get ready. But also maybe Funko's going to start. I mean, so far a lot of the sodas are either from them, you know, because they're selling these coolers, or from other specific retailers. Like Hot Topic had the Sam, the you know the
Exclusives.
the exclusive Sam, the Entertainment Earth stuff. You know, those kind of exclusives that were limited to there. Maybe they're not trying to get all these smaller like retailers in the soda market as much.
So there's a lot of great comments and questions in the chat here. So Randy first off says this hits the nail right on the head with the Funko community. First, everyone complains there's too much being dropped. Now, why isn't Funko dropping anything? Y'all kill me. This is the Funko community 101. You can't make us happy.
Man, if we're not complaining, like what's the point, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we're supposed to do, is complain? No, I mean, Randy's got a point. I mean, but honestly, I think that it's great. I think that it's great that they're not like last year. They did their little recap on the year. They released 1,700 Funko Pops last year, over 1,700. That is just like, and I don't know how many it was the year before. Last year, I think you burn people out like completely. It's just too much overload. You know, great example. I didn't even realize that and they didn't release a lot of sodas. I didn't even realize the Joker, because there's just so much of so much.
But when there's
like,
so much, it's hard to get excited. And then like you do get excited about some stuff. And
I think the sales also made it hard to get excited. Like when you see, like there were so many things that I picked up this year, like, or, a couple months ago, that then you see them go on sale for 50% off. I'm like, if that's the way it's going to be, like, what am I rushing out for? I've still picked up a lot, like through the sales, the 70% off sale, that maybe we'll talk about that a little bit as well, up to 70% off. But we picked some stuff up for there, but I was glad that I waited. So I think it takes some of the excitement out of it, though. You know what I mean? And
The sale definitely does, and I saw. Yeah, we'll get into this sale in a little bit. But Figgy Pop, yes, 100%. We're going to be bringing on some other Funko YouTubers and toy collectors from the community on here. It's something that we want to do here in 2024. Somebody suggested that we do it monthly. I think monthly is a great idea. Pipsqueak had a great comment, said, I can't see sodas stopping. Rewinds need to stop if they haven't. Those may have worked. Those may not, I'm guessing may not have worked if had sodas not existed. Or those may have worked. I don't know. I don't think rewinds would have caught on at all if sodas weren't a thing, because they're not limited. Like, that's the biggest thing.
I think, yeah, not limited, but also like, I don't know, like there's a good half of them that don't look that great as figures. They look
that's
great.
100%
So I think that's partially, I think partially why Dorbs kind of went out. Like there's some really good Dorbs, and there's a lot of really bad looking Dorbs. Like there's some that are like, oh, these are really cool looking. I have several sitting over there, and several behind me.
Yeah, Holly loves Dorbs. Dorbs are cute. They don't take up a lot of space. You don't have to worry about the box because they're not that valuable. The rides,
people feel the same way about the rewinds. I mean, I get the rewind. Like, I don't think they're the worst thing ever. Like, I bought one. I think that they are what they are, and I think it's a good option for people that maybe, I was gonna say, like, if you don't want to spend $15 to $18 on a soda, you get a $12 rewind. They sell them at Hot Topic. You can get them closer to 10. I think it's fine for what they are. I don't hate it, but if they're gonna have to start pulling stuff back, I mean, I'm right there with you guys. I hope they pull back on everything else. I think sodas and pops should be what's going forward. But like we've been asking, like, lower the piece counts. I think that I think that they realize that. I think even their piece counts on the pops, I hope that they don't need to make as many as they need.
And that's why I think that, I think Johnny Sachs said, like, he said, what did he say earlier? He goes, it's naive to not have some worry. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not worried about Funko not producing product, because they are a publicly traded company that has to answer to stockholders. So if they don't put out product that they don't sell, that they don't in turn make money, that they don't in turn pay dividends to their shareholders, well, that's just them not being a good company. So I'm not worried in them releasing product from that aspect. And I actually, I still think that this is a really good time, because it allows collectors to breathe. And like everybody's been saying, like, hey, where's the next item? Where's the next drop? It means people are getting excited again. We're starting to build up anticipation.
So I have another theory about this rewind thing, though. Notice they didn't start any of them off with piece counts. Yeah, they did that on purpose, because they started all sodas off with piece counts. And what happened once they went unnumbered? People didn't want those sodas. Yep. So they're like, well, we'll start it the other way. And I think that might be also why they slowed down on making sodas, because they're like, we can't put out these two different products at the same time and like as much of the same stuff, and maybe kind of change focus for a little while to like, we'll spend our money on making these and get these out to retailers instead of the sodas for a little bit. Because who knows? But I think that's probably why they didn't make them at piece count at first, because they probably saw, well, we can never change to where we can get them in the big box store.
Well, I also figured that if rewinds caught on the way they wanted to, and I don't know what level they wanted to, but I don't think they did, then they could, you can always up the hype, right? By if you start out with something that, hey, we're just making 50,000 of each item, but then come San Diego Comic-Con, you go, hey, guess what, everybody? There is a 500-piece rewind that you can only get if you're standing in line at the men's room in, section H of this baseball stadium, like that. Then they give away like this rare thing, and that causes hype. And then people are like, wait, what are those? And then like they try to get into it and everything. Like, you can always up the ante, But like, where's the Jelly Belly soda? I was looking forward to that one. I really hope that one.
So was I.
Velma from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, where's that one? So Susan, Toy Fair announcements typically are in the beginning of the year. Usually, end of January, beginning of February. think it varies slightly week to week. But Josh, so sorry to hear that you're in the hospital. Had surgery to get glass out of his foot, but he's
Oh.
hanging out with us tonight, which we appreciate. So hopefully he's back on his feet soon. Also, I wanted to address a comment from Anna, which I have seen this a little bit. I think it's just quality control. I don't think it's anything to panic over. I mean, quality control is always something that is not great if it's wrong, but there have been a few soda coolers. I know one of our patrons did suffer from this, where the soda cooler that they got didn't have a guaranteed chase. And then there was some debacle with the way the customer service rep from Funko emailed these people back that I've seen, saying that nowhere has it ever said they guarantee a chase verbatim. However, it's a 1 out of 6 chance. So I don't know
I
if
think
they're
they got to
trying to
probably
say,
do that for liability type.
they probably do
reason.
that for liability. I'm guessing like what they'll try to argue is that, hey, there's 6 different characters. You're guaranteed, you know, a chance of 1 out of 6 for each character. But that's not how it goes, because then you would have people possibly getting like 5 chases in a case. It's supposed to be 1 chase per
Right.
case. If it wasn't 1 chase per case, I guarantee you their case cooler sales would plummet. Like nobody would buy them, you know?
Yeah, we got two chases in one of our Scooby coolers, which means somebody probably didn't get a chase in one of theirs. I think that they've always not guaranteed it. I don't remember. I don't remember. You know, now I don't remember. I don't remember if it ever said that it was guaranteed a chase. But you should. I mean, it's what everybody expects. That. I mean, that is kind of the.
But it
the
was
nice
just,
thing
but
about it.
they set the standard. Like you didn't use, if you send out, I mean, how many, we've had what, like 7 or 8 coolers now, each cooler ranging anywhere from like 10,000, you know, we'll just say, all right, each cooler was 10,000 pieces average. I know there was some more, some less. We'll just say 7 coolers, 10,000 pieces. That's 70,000 coolers, roughly. Not perfect math, right? Of those, like they've sent out, I'm just saying, like upwards of 100,000 coolers out to the community, and 99.9% of them have all had 1 chase. They're designed to have 1 chase. Like that's how the system
Right.
is. That's how it's designed. Because if it was on the flip side, though, like, would you guys prefer this, where it's completely random? This might actually peak sales if they did it this way, where you could get
I would be okay with that.
If you get a cooler with possibly 6 chases, or you get a cooler possibly with no chases. That would be very exciting for us doing videos.
Yeah, imagine that person that got the six chases.
Yeah, perfect cooler. Yeah.
Super pumped.
Yeah, exactly.
Super
They'd be buying a lot more of them. So Koba says, I have so many things to discuss with you guys. I'm happy you're back. What do you think about the new female Freddy Funko? Also, do you believe that NFTs should have a limit of 4 times a year? Well, before we get into NFTs, let's definitely talk about the female Freddy character that a lot of people have been talking about. Did you guys see the character reveal on the Funko Rewards page?
I did. I mean, at least it was some kind of, I don't know if it was a character reveal, but I mean, it's on there.
It's on there, and they haven't made any official announcement, but I wouldn't be surprised. But they've done stuff like this in the past, so they're definitely behind closed doors. They are definitely trying to create some sort of female character, because there's been little tidbits throughout the years of little snapshots of pictures of a female mascot or a female character, you know, on those Funko signs and Funko billboards. If I had to guess it, they're probably making a sister for Freddy. If I had to guess,
I could see that.
And the only thing that leads me to believe that now they're actually doing it as opposed to years past is because they just did Proto. So, you know, I think people really like Proto. I think the Proto, the dog pops and sodas have sold well. So I think now they're thinking like, hey, you know, we've done Freddy, we've done Proto. Let's do a female mascot.
Nice thing, it doesn't really cost them anything.
No license.
No, I think it's a brilliant move. Really, probably long overdue.
Yeah, some more Star Wars soda characters. I'm definitely down for that. I'm hoping that they have some sort of really good release this year for May the 4th. There's no Star Wars celebration this year, so I hope Funko needs to do the first week of May. They need to make that Star Wars week, and they need to just like drop some really cool stuff on the Funko shop for the Star Wars collectors. Like, do it. Just do it. All the other companies do it. Come May the 4th, Lego does it, Hasbro does it. Like all these companies celebrate May the 4th. There's no reason why Funko, they make up these little cons with like Target Con and all these other little events, FunCon. Like make May the 4th like an event. Make a cool little May the 4th exclusive sticker. You could come out with a few pops, throw in a couple limited pieces, throw in a couple sodas, do like a big drop. They did that big drop what was it, 2 years ago for Batman Day, where they had like the Batman Beyond soda and all the other stuff they dropped that day. Like, come on, let's celebrate Star Wars properly. So, but getting into the other half of Koba's question with the NFTs, no, I don't think the NFTs should be numbered to 4 times a year. I think that's way too few. I think the sweet spot is once a month. That's my vote.
I mean, at the very most once a month, and I'd be okay if they skipped a month every once in a while. Quality over quantity. I feel like they're starting to get caught up. Like we've been getting a ton, like we've been getting NFTs like nonstop now in the mail, so they're shipping stuff out. I'd rather see them go to a little bit less, and maybe speed up the turnaround process if that was going to be possible, because like you shouldn't be waiting almost a year is what
I don't know why the turnaround process shouldn't be there. Should be like,
no.
Okay, like after the month of like you have to do your stuff, maybe a month later have the stuff go out, because technically they don't change the number they make. They said they're not changing anything around those kind of pieces, so they already have them in production or ready to make. So why? I don't know.
That's the thing. I think that there's so many things, it gets a lot of bad publicity as it is. They're NFTs. People don't like them. Not everybody gets on board with it. I think that the long delay hurts it. I think the shipping stuff has hurt it a little bit. If they wanted to fix the NFT stuff going into 2024, ship the stuff in protectors. Everybody's saying it. I think they would, if they just did that, it's just showing that they're listening to the community. You know what I mean? Listening to their fan base, their customer base, going that extra step that they're trying to make these things right. Treat them like a premium product, like they are. We're paying a ton of money for this stuff. Yeah. I like what they did. Like the next drop. So they, I don't know how you guys felt about it. Like Squid Games does not appeal to me, not even a little bit at all.
Yeah, I figured we would talk about that at some point. I don't know. I mean, they obviously probably decided to do this a while ago, but why would you do Squid Game?
I'm sure. And it could have been in their contract with whatever. Maybe they got Netflix and this was something they had to do. With that being said, to turn I don't want to say a negative into a positive. I love that they're doing metallic on a couple of these.
Yeah,
I like that they did the bloody metallic. I actually kind of, if it goes super cheap, I might get that mask. And I don't like those at all. But I thought that at least the glam shot of it, I thought that looked really cool. Metallic and bloody. Masked worker. Cool. I thought that looked cool. The Freddy looked pretty good. The other guy, the all black guy, the front man.
Yeah.
That looks kind of cool. I heard, people that are into Squid Games, I think they're excited about it. I think they're good. I really think that they did good redeemables for this one. But yeah, it's just, I'm not interested in the IP at all, unfortunately. And I think that now piggybacked off of the Disney drop, I think this is just going to be it's going to be looked at so negative because they won't sell out these packs either. And everybody's going to be like, it's kind of a bummer.
I see that. And I feel like, it's kind of funny. I kind of said a little bit towards that in the end of my video today, but like, I kind of feel it's funny. Like whenever it's kind of circling back to what Randy said, like people are upset when something sells out, and then they're upset when like something doesn't sell out. Like there's no winning. And I see it with the NFTs. There were so many people that were upset when the Halloween Freddy series of NFTs sold out. And people were like, it's not fair. Tristan from Top Pops, they gave him 14 packs, and that wasn't fair because that took away packs from other people. But then, yeah, you're going to have this Squid Games drop. And I guarantee you, when those packs start getting burned, you're gonna have all these people in the comments on the major Instagram influencers and on Funko's page and on Drop's page, and they're gonna be like, NFTs are dead, NFTs are the worst, no one likes NFTs. And it's like, yeah, but I guarantee you when something cool sells out again, you'll be like, oh, that's not fair, I wanted some, I was waiting in the queue for 6 hours and I couldn't get a pack. Like,
and I think that's part of it.
I don't mind actually there being 2 drops a month, because I don't have to go after both drops. Like, if it's something I don't want or don't go after any drop. It's not a big deal. And I think that then gives them a better chance to come out. I mean, if you think about it, then they come out with 24 drops a month. That's not that bad. If you really think about 24 different licenses, it could be My Little Pony Series 2. I'm not going to go after My Little Pony Series 2. But it could be also Scooby-Doo Series 2. I'm going after Scooby-Doo Series 2. Yeah. You know, like it's. I think it's okay, because essentially, as long as they make enough to cover whatever costs they have to do all this, with like produce them, get them, prepared, and all those kind of things. Like, even if they don't sell out, I think they're still almost all ahead. So I think the idea is. They want to sell out, of course. That's where they want to be. But then they need to figure out the numbering. Because I was surprised about some of the sizes. I don't know how big the Squid Games. I didn't look at. I'm guessing it's going to be a smaller, like, at least overall count of cards available to complete it. Because the numbers were pretty big, but I don't think the packs were like insanely as big as some of the
packs were
other
pretty
pieces.
big. I think that they're around 21,000 or 21,500 again.
That's way
and
too
now they're
many.
doing it's way too many. So this is the only thing with that though. Like, so okay, protectors is number 1. That the turnaround time it's got to be faster. Number 3 on my top 3 list of fixing the NFTs. Change the numbers on the when the piece counts change, though, especially as dramatically as some of them are, like that Steven Universe that they just released the coins for. I think that there was only like some of those were half of what was going to come out. The Disney are going to be the same way.
They need to update the sticker. Like, there's no excuse. Like, you're
like the Mini Grail was a 999 piece. The Mini Grail tops is going to be at 500 pieces tops. And I don't even think you'll get to 500 pieces. That has to be reflected on the box. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if it did, I think like even that it turns a negative into a positive. Yes, they had to burn all these packs, but now you're getting a more limited piece. So if you like that, like, kind of to build on what Josh is saying, it's okay if they do 24 drops. I don't think there's any problem with that, because no, you're not going to go after everyone. But, if you love a certain one and nobody else does, it's kind of good, because you're not competing with anybody. You're going to buy the packs at retail. You're going to open up what you're going to get. You're going to get them on the secondary market, probably not that expensive if there's not a lot of hype for it. And you're going to get a nice limited piece of something that you collect. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I don't think it's good for them that they're burning half the packs, but maybe that's why they're keeping these packs so high. They don't really care. They sell whatever they sell. They burn the rest.
For sure.
But it's perception, which is bad. And that's where everybody says that it's dying. They're not going to sell out on every IP that they release. Like, it's just not, they're not all home runs. They
release like a super popular, like, if they did 100,000 packs of One Piece, I don't think they would sell out. Like, as hot as One Piece is, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they try to like take something that has a high demand and they like blow it out of the water and they think that like, hey, we could sell this many, I don't think they would do it, just because there's just not that many people in the NFT game.
So I have argued this for a while too. So for other than perception, let's say they do this. Let's say they, let's say they're going to drop a Marvel. Okay. And they've been doing 21,000 packs. Let's say they do Marvel and they do 25,000 packs and they sell out right away. what's going to hurt if they did 40,000 packs? Do you know what I'm saying? And they only sell 20 instead of selling 25. Let's say they sell 35, but they didn't sell out. They only sold 35 instead of the 40. How's it bad? So they sold more up front. You know what I mean? I think other than perception, I think perception does play a part though. But you know, because I don't know why they're keeping the packs as high as they need to, or you know, or they are, or do they need to keep them that high? That I guess I don't know.
Yeah. Before we get any further, I wanted to say hi to some more people that came in the room. What's going on? Essie Mom, Mason, thank you so much for jumping on in. And I want to thank Down Under Collecting Steven. He did it in the beginning of the stream. We've just been talking. He actually gifted 5 channel memberships. So thank you so much, Steven. Truly appreciate that. There is one thing before we just move on from the female Freddy character. There's one thing that I kind of want to squash really quick because there has been some really mean comments that were left on. I did a reel yesterday and I did a short, and there were some people saying that this female character was going to like destroy Funko or bring down Funko sales, or this is not something we need.
Why?
Like I can't believe that people were saying that. Like, just because Funko has had one mascot for a long time, like they've already brought in Proto the dog, there's nothing wrong with having another female mascot.
Listen,
like,
so I get the sentiment behind it because of the way.
no,
like,
I think people are
kind
just
of to
being
piggyback on what Steven's saying right here.
sexist, which is just unacceptable.
But see, this, so in this scenario, because I mean, I'll be 100% honest. I'm usually on that kind of bandwagon. I don't think that we have to do everything to be politically correct on every single thing that happens in the world. I think it's okay to have things be one way and things be another way. In this particular case, I think it just opens up all kinds of opportunities. Like, how many great female characters do we have that now we can have a Frida Funko
Wonder
as
Woman,
whatever.
Yeah.
I think that it's a great opportunity. I don't think that they necessarily did this to be woke or anything like that. I personally, I think it's just a good opportunity for them to open up.
They've heard it from several people too for a long time. Like,
we've said it here many a time.
We did. Yeah, we did.
And I mean, just this past year, they finally brought Proto into the play.
I love Proto.
Now you got Proto, and now you got whatever we're thinking, Fredrina Francis.
They have to. If they do this, I'll be upset. If they just call her Becky or like Jessica or something, like, you got to give her a name that starts with F. Like, Proto makes sense because of like prototypes and like, it plays along into the collectible that Funko is, but they got to give her something with an F. Especially if they're brother and sister. Now, they probably will never like tell us like what the relationship is, like, that kind of thing, which is fine. Like, keep that ominous, but I think they got to go. Like, Funko loves their like play on words, and they do like fun on the run, and they do all these little like catchy things. They got to do something with an F. That's just my opinion, but yeah, they do need to bring back NFT sodas. Circling back to the NFTs, I know I'm quite behind on the chat. You guys have been super buzzing today, which I appreciate. But yeah, we need more NFT sodas, and we need an NFT soda. That was actually, thank you for bringing that up, Johnny. I was going to piggyback on Vince, your corrections or your go-tos for what to fix with the NFTs. You need to have a soda with every drop, in my opinion. Just one. If you want to go nuts and make like 2, cool. But I think you need to have one to get the soda collectors on board and excited about NFTs, because now there's a lot of collectors who are only into sodas. They've made so many sodas for the last 3 going on 4 years. There's people that are specifically exclusive collectors of sodas. And on top of that, like, we have gotten 2 sodas before. We got the Mummy Freddy, and then we got the Witch Doctor.
Yep.
You have to give them chases. Like, come on. Like, that's the thing that Funko needs to correct for sodas in general in 2024. In my opinion,
there's a lot of stuff that they can. It wouldn't take like these big sweeping things.
But if they want to sell, if you want to sell more product, every single soda needs to have a chase. There should not be one soda in 2024 that doesn't have a chase, in my opinion. Like, because that brings so much excitement to the hobby, But Wayne, I can tell you that I know Funko is listening, so I know that. Whether they take any of our advice or hear our opinions or anything, they're a big company. They got to do what's best for them. They can't just listen to a three little schmucks here on YouTube cry about XYZ. But we do know they're listening, so see a lot of people getting hyped for Star Wars. I'm very hyped for Star Wars, although it's not a big year for Star Wars. It's kind of like an off year. Like last year, I can't believe now we're saying last year is 2023 already. We had two big releases last year with Mandalorian and Ahsoka. This year, I'm telling you, like most of the Star Wars community is going to be bored this year. Unless you're into Bad Batch, you don't really have a lot that's like, in my opinion, mainstream. Like we have the Acolyte. No one knows anything about that. We have Skeleton Crew. Even the Star Wars fans don't even know anything about that. It's a completely unknown
Yeah, those
show.
are not getting great hype.
And Tales of the Jedi, even though Tales of the Jedi Season 1 was amazing, and I'm very excited for Tales of the Jedi Season 2, no one's going to care. They're little shorts. Like, no one's really going to watch them. And so, like, there's no blockbuster Star Wars, hitting the screens this year. So, which I think is good, because then I think that's less pressure on companies like Funko to deliver on characters and certain things. Like, then they can just do their own thing. Like, just make cool stuff. You have the license, run it by Lucasfilm, make something cool. But anyway, let's shift gears a little bit. Josh, I saw you have a slide. What is this the sale?
Well, I just wanted to show you, like, this is the Entertainment Earth, and
Okay.
look at the Mr. Jelly Bean soda date. Like, I had to go and see if I could find it. So we might be waiting for sodas for a little bit. I don't know. Pre-order sold out, coming November 2024. So
wow.
I don't know if that's the real
November
date.
is
Sometimes
a while
put, like,
from now.
ridiculous dates. I've seen this though before when they put like
They might change it.
crazy
It might get moved up. You never know.
But the pre-order is sold out. So they did sell. They did sell them.
Yeah, because people want that soda.
Yeah. I thought it was
crazy. It's been really weird, right?
So we might get that. Where was Velma from? Anywhere in particular, or just regular? It was just regular.
No, I think Velma was just regular.
Yeah, I don't think she had an exclusive.
You know what though? Velma was not. I don't think it was. That wasn't like announced by Funko. I don't think though. Was it? I feel like it was one. It was thrown around on the leak, because I don't even remember seeing the can for Velma. Now I'm going off my memory.
It wasn't on Funko's website. It was like a side leak kind of thing. I think it was. I
remember. I thought Entertainment Earth was one of them that had Velma.
Yeah, I was gonna say Entertainment Earth, but I don't want to speculate. So.
Well, one of them had it like really quick, and it says February 2024. Coming February 2024, pre-order sold out for at least Entertainment Earth. So February 2024 is a little more realistic if she's coming out, and I think that leads you to, that means a couple months. That means they haven't even, these were announced how long ago? These were a little while ago. So
yeah,
like we said, they might be just playing catch up now. Slow down and then now catch up. And she's only 7,000 pieces.
Yeah.
So that's a good number. That's what we've talked about for a while as a good, like that 7 to 10, maybe 12,000 at the most is that sweet spot. That 7 to 12, somewhere in there. But 7, perfect for something like that.
So we actually have two really good NFT questions. So first one comes from Koba, who says, please correct me if I'm wrong, but if an NFT drop does not sell out completely, it means that fewer people will have the NFTs in their possession, making them more valuable, right? Yes, that is theoretically.
Theoretically, but also you got to gauge it as, supply and demand. I mean, if there's not the demand there on the front end, is there going to be demand on the back end when they actually, you know what I'm saying?
I will say there's
if it's a character that nobody wants, then just nobody wants, even if there's like 50 of them.
Listen, Disney's a great example. Is Disney not a collectible like line? but they burned 40% of their packs. And we could get into the 50 million reasons why that one was a little bit more complicated for people. But for me, looking at it, yeah, I think they're going to be more valuable when they come out than what they're going for right now. I mean, there's no Pete Pop so far. None. There's no Pete Pops. You could buy that for $39. It's going to be under 1,500 pieces, like possibly way under 1,500 pieces. There's Looney Tune Pops that are around 1,500 pieces that are a couple $100 pops. I'm not saying that this Pete is going to be worth a couple $100, but what I'm saying is, should he be more valuable than, $39 for a Disney character that has no pop out there other than Kingdom Hearts, which I'm not counting? But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that this whole set is going to fall under the radar. So yeah, there's less. And then if it's a collectible line and it comes out, I think it is going to be worth more.
So, Josh, you were going to say something.
Oh, I was going to say, well, and this kind of addresses like this kind of question too. And that's about the burn packs, how, chance of redeemables go up. They don't go up because it's the same percentage overall that's burnt. So that means that if it's, say, 20% are burnt, that means 20% of the grails are gone, 20% of the other things. But also that means it becomes a lot harder to get people to sell things that you might need for the royalty set. And I think
because the epics become harder.
One of the things you saw with that is a great example. I just looked at the stats for Stranger Things. Freddy Funko's Eddie, 2,122 were actually redeemed out of 3,600 originally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge gap in numbers. That's probably the biggest gap I've seen. Like, sometimes I've seen 7, 4, 7, 500 difference, but that is one of the biggest ones and all of them are about 700 lower because of the packs and like what was claimed in that. So I think some of those things are going to be shocking when they come out, to see how little there's going to be on the market.
The supply is going to be way low.
Yeah. So a couple more things. The chat, you guys are awesome tonight. Riley, I'm so excited that you brought this up. Switching gears briefly, did you guys see the new Echo trailer? Oh my God, I'm actually hyped for a Marvel project. It's the first time I've been truly hyped, I think, in like a year and a half.
You know what's funny? I was so not hyped for Echo. Like that was
because
probably
no one cares. No one cares about Echo, but now that like Daredevil and Kingpin have such a big role, at least from the trailer, it looks awesome.
So for the Echo series, we can't wait for Daredevil and Kingpin.
Yes, 100%.
So is that what you're saying? It's an Echo series, but we're looking forward to Daredevil.
Honest, but if I'm being honest, if there's nobody else,
I listen. I'm agreeing with you.
I'm hoping it leads to our next look at actual Daredevil, coming really about now. So
not the She-Hulk Daredevil. Anyway, a couple other things. I just wanted to highlight that really quick. Zach, I'm going to touch on this really quick. He says he is disappointed the Cartoon Network Clone Wars anniversary, only one pop, and it was the wrong character. Funko does not really acknowledge anniversaries. It's just, they don't do it. Like, especially with Star Wars,
unless
like
they're paid for 100th anniversary.
Yeah, they don't do it. They've done like random one-offs. Like they did the 40th anniversary of, did they do Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi?
They did Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, they did Empire, but they don't do like, a lot of companies don't focus on Clone Wars. They don't focus on the prequel trilogy anniversaries. They don't.
And I don't think it's them. I think it's the people that are doing it. Like the WB 100. It probably wasn't a Funko thing. It was probably like WB, like, we want to release.
Well, yeah, exactly. Just like Disney 100. Like Disney 100 was not because of Funko. Disney mandated that every single company, at least from my understanding, in their umbrella of like, hey, you have the license for our products, you produce our products with our characters, you will brand the following products from, X month of 2022 to X month of 2023 as the Disney 100th anniversary.
They also, think about this though, they also did not do Clone Wars pops. I'm not saying they didn't do characters from like there was not Like, think about the
There was no
Rebels
clone.
line. They had
Yeah, well, the white and blue
Rebels.
boxes are typically like the Clone
Right.
Wars pops, but you're right. There's no Clone Wars branding. Like
There's
they
no.
did with
That's what I'm
Rebels.
saying. Like, they didn't have it where it had like a Clone Wars designation, and not that that maybe ties in directly with that, but they never really dedicated. Like, Rebels is a little bit different. They had its own line, the own box, and that kind of deal.
And
And they
Ralphie
probably won't do anything
Funhouse.
for them either.
What's up, Curtis?
What's up,
He
Curtis?
weighed in here. He said Velma soda was an authorized product, Blitz approved by Funko for pre-sale on July 26, 2023. So there you
Okay,
go.
so
You got
it's
it
coming.
straight from a very
So-
reputable retailer.
So if you're looking at that, so if Velma's coming out supposedly maybe February, if that's the true kind of release date, I mean, that's how sodas kind of were. Is almost about once they were like put up for pre-order, it was about
Was it 6 months? I feel like it wasn't that
No,
far.
it was about that. It didn't
Was
feel
it?
like it because
It
we
could-
always
it
had
could have
stuff
been.
coming in. Because if you
Right.
think about it, Vince, you already had
Yeah.
other
You're right.
stuff coming
Yeah, you're right. I
it was
liked
like-
the way that they used. That was something we said a couple weeks ago that I hope that they get back to that. I like the small, 3 cool sodas and roll those out every couple months then, or even if it's once a month that they're doing 3 sodas a month, or something to that effect. I mean, that's not a crazy amount. It could even be more than that, but it got too overwhelming, I think, at some point last year. But yeah, I think that would be a good, a good schedule for them to get back on.
And the other thing, really quick, that I think Funko 411 brought up, he said that he thinks, or he mentioned that, possibly Funko could have been backing off sodas from the NFTs as a hint to like not producing sodas in general. They only did 2 NFT drops with sodas, so I don't think that's a good inclination of whether they're going to keep doing sodas or not. I think that we would find out pretty like widespread because there's a lot of retailers that share their lists with a lot of people here in the community. And if sodas just stop going up for pre-order, and if soda, like, I feel like there would be kind of like a mass hysteria and we would all know about it if sodas were truly, in fact, getting canceled. So, and then also we have a super chat. Joey, thank you so much.
Joey.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much for that. Truly appreciate it.
I wonder, with that idea too of just pre-order stuff in general, I feel like that's a little bit slowed down too as well. Like people not wanting to pre-order first off, but also retailers, as many retailers going after pre-orders, I think have kind of dropped down. And it might have been because a lot of people were hit with that, like delays and problems and all
I think
kinds
that's
of
what
things
it is.
that
I
come
think
with it,
there's
too.
been a lot of people that have gotten burned in the community. And
Yeah.
on top of that, I think it's hard for, like, Curtis, I'm sure could speak to that. Like, it's got to be super hard. Like, you're great example right there. Like, they were approved for pre-sales in July. We're already in January. People get are not super patient. Like, I'm sure that we've all dealt with that before. People not being, patient with things, and like, especially when things get even pushed further and further, and you see some of this stuff now, November of 24. It's like people don't want to have to, and it just makes it really hard.
I was just about to say, I'm sure Curtis deals with an absolute nightmare because I can just say, like, from us,
Yeah.
and I know we're a much smaller operation than Curtis. Like, if we sell something on Monday night, people are messaging us Tuesday morning. Where is it? Is it in the mail? I haven't seen the
giveaways
tracking.
for me. Usually giveaways, like people are actually checking back later on that night to see if we have it boxed up yet. No, but I mean, man, I could totally understand that. I mean, it's got to be an absolute nightmare because you're stuck in the middle, especially for retailers that you have to give answers to people, and people are not willing to just understand.
But that's the thing, Vince. And I will speak to Ralphie's because they're a company that we promote. We have a good relationship with them. And they're one of the few retailers in this community who actually have good customer service. And that's what sets them and some other good companies apart
for sure.
from the others.
Well, it's why they're still around, and a lot
it's because it's not the retailer's fault. And now some collectors aren't patient enough to understand this. Like, Funko has their stock, their product, right? And sometimes things get delayed and they don't send it out to the retailers, and it just gets delayed. And then people get mad at the retailers because the retailers are holding X amount of money for pre-orders. So then people start emailing the retailers and go, hey, where's my soda? Where's my pop? Where's my stuff? And the problem therein lies when, unfortunately, when the retailer does not reciprocate with good customer service. That creates the illusion of people like thinking that they're getting ripped off or scammed, or they're not getting their product. And that's when people get upset, even though it's not the retailer's fault. And they're actually really not obligated to have to, speak on Funko's behalf and say like, hey, we don't know why it's delayed. Like Funko didn't give us any answers. Like at the end of the day, it technically is Funko's fault, but it's the good customer service that is few and far between.
Yeah, because I mean, it's got I've seen it happen a couple times last year where there would be stuff that we would have on pre-order somewhere, and then you see it go up on the Funko shop for sale, and you're still waiting a month or two past that, and it's like you still have not got it. Now I'm all into supporting the small retailers and patience. I mean, we get mystery box that I let sit for 3 months, so I have the patience to let stuff wait. I get not everybody can do that, and I would say that those people should just not pre-order.
Well, and I've talked to Curtis before about stuff too. There are other like sodas I pre-ordered, and he's like, I don't know what's going on. Like they totally like lost the whole shipping pallet of like, I'm missing this whole order of all this stuff. Like he's waiting on it, and it stinks because you're like, oh, all these other retailers are selling it or have it available or out. And things like that, and you don't. And sometimes it's just like that luck of like they lost your whole pallet in their warehouse and haven't sent it out, or some reason that something went on. And I think it's also like that the pre-order part it's good and bad too, because one of the things that like for retailers it's a good gauge on stuff, but also like you just don't know like about especially new things. Like it's easy. Velma soda is pretty easy. Like a Velma soda, Hatbox Ghost soda, classic figures have been around for a while, have a great audience for them, stuff like that. But how about if it's a new movie or a new TV show that really hasn't even come out yet, or like a new series that's a spin-off of something else, and maybe there's only one character that everyone will like, maybe all the characters. I mean, you saw that hype around the Stranger Things Eddie Pops. Like they were sitting at Target, anyone could have got them. Like, but imagine if they had Eddies for also people to order. Would they have ordered as many? Like if a retailer saw, who's this character? Like, I don't know this guy's name. Like, Target was the only one with them. But how about earlier on, if they came out for regular, like people might not have been, oh, that's not the main, that's not 11, that's not Hopper or something like that. It's not going to be the main name, but that probably would have sold better than all those combined.
Well, speaking of movies, I was actually pretty excited to see this, and I'm sure a lot of other people were as well. So this begs the question. Well, I mean, obviously Funko has the Ghostbusters license.
Spoiler alert.
Some aspect, but yeah, I mean, this kind of, I guess this, what is that potato looking thing? Pukey. I guess we know, that character is going to be in the Ghostbusters. What is it called? Not Afterlife. It's like Snowmageddon or something. Now it's bugging me. Like Freeze Over. It looks cool. I saw the trailer. I just can't remember the name. But obviously they still have the license in some aspect, and maybe they never did lose it. Maybe it was just a lot of rumor and hearsay. Frozen Empire. Thank you. I knew it was like something along those lines. But maybe they never lost the Ghostbusters license in the first place. Remember 3 months ago, everybody was panicking like crazy.
Is that a new chicken nugget there? I don't know. What's that like? Pukey the chicken nugget?
It looks like a potato.
Oh.
And I kind of like that. I don't know why.
You would like it. I'm sure you're gonna have 12.
I would.
So how about the mini puff and the big old hamster wheel? That's a bigger pop, right? That's a deluxe.
It's not. It's in a deluxe box. I don't know if you guys seen the actual picture of it. Yeah. It's in a deluxe box, but it could have fit in a regular box. That'd be one to get and pull out. It is. I think that's super cool, though. I think it's super creative on Funko's most part.
I know it's just interesting, like why even do that to everyone? It must have been just close enough where they like, oh, we can't, it won't fit, it won't do it, or there had to
It's
have been some
unique
weird
enough though
reason.
that I'm okay that I'm getting to the point with some of these big ones. If I want them, I'm gonna get them and just throw the boxes away. You
Yeah,
know what I
you're
mean?
gonna take them out. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the stuff. I mean, a lot of the bigger ones. If I get any, yeah, a lot of the bigger stuff I like to take out because it looks so much better. I mean, perfect example is, of course, the 3 liters, Vince. Like, they're not like.
Yeah,
I almost feel like I don't need to keep the thing if I just want to kind of display them. I know I just kind of threw them in storage. Like I really
that's
just
that's what
took them
we
and threw
got.
'em in storage.
Yeah, I think that's Bree's biggest complaint is the bottles. We don't have any bottles. Well, I mean, other than the crap that I have all over the place down here, but we don't keep any of that. We don't display any of the bottles either.
No, I think that's the thing. It's like those just aren't. I don't know. I'm just wondering. You know what we haven't seen too? Like when we were talking about things we haven't seen, anything come out like new
The
albums,
10-inch
game,
pops.
gaming things. 10-inch really we haven't seen like any of those bigger things. I think also Funko realized, maybe how much they cost to ship and everything too. Like even on their own site, how much it's costing them to ship stuff when they start
It's
getting the
definitely
bigger
it's got to
things.
go into the equation at some point.
I mean, plus what you're getting shipped from overseas and all those kind of things and pieces and parts. So
Yeah, I mean, as far as the bigger pops go, I think I'm at the point if if I'm gonna get a bigger pop, like I go into it knowing that it's coming out of the box, and I'm
yeah,
not buying it because of value. You know what I mean?
and most of them, truthfully, there's very few that actually hold value long term. Very few.
Right.
It's like they might go up a little bit. Most of them will go down technically, depending on when you bought it and the deal you got on it. But I would say there's only a really fine line, even with exclusive ones, that really go up. Maybe late down the road when they're really hard to find, and because everyone got rid of the boxes and everything like that, that might be a different story. But
Yeah, I could see that. I think that space becomes such a premium for our for us fanatic crazy people that have a ton of stuff. So I think that you just go really. I mean, you should do that with everything. You shouldn't buy it with the intention of it being valuable at some point. But some of the bigger stuff, you gotta accept it for what it is. I will probably get that puff because I'm pretty much puff complete.
I would expect nothing less.
See,
you would think that would have been a good NFT line to go like the Ghostbuster stuff. Like, I don't know.
I don't
OG
think so.
Ghostbusters maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think
Secondary
everything
movies.
needs to be NFTs though. Like, and
No, but I think it's a good I'm just surprised that's not a line.
it's a
Like
good
if they're
IP. Yeah,
yeah.
like it's a good recognized established IP. I actually think that they should use NFTs to do, and maybe I'm alone on this, but I actually think they should either use them for major IPs where they do characters that have never appeared as Pops or Funko products before, or use them for very lesser known IPs, stuff that Funko hasn't done a lot of, to give opportunities for collectors to get more of those characters. But in doing those lesser known IPs, you bring down the packs to like 5,000, which they would probably never do. But
They would never do that.
yeah, I'm just like, because if you go that strategy, either way, you're appeasing your main audience, which at the end of the day, your main audience is collectors. Your main audience is not the people who are going to watch the movies. And I think Funko is, based on what I'm hearing, they're starting to understand that. Like, yes, you need to put out product, like new Ghostbusters movies coming out. you need to put out a wave of Ghostbusters pops to appease those people who are going to go see the movie. They're going to be walking around Target. They're going to see that Stay Puffed on the hamster wheel on the shelf and go, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I saw the movie. The movie was good. Yeah, I'm going to grab that. I'm going to do a little Target toss, throw that in the cart, and, be on their way. But I also think they need to appease like the hardcore collectors and come out with some kind of super cool limited, piece for San Diego Comic-Con. Like I actually thought the Egon was pretty cool from last year. Like do something like that again, that commemorates the new movie coming out, but at the same time, like appeals to collectors who really like the Ghostbusters. Ventress, yeah, she would be a great NFT. It would piss off a lot of people, but it
definitely
would be.
Definitely that would.
It would piss off so many people.
Don't do that.
Or do. I am for not controversy, but I like it when things are hard to get, because if everything is easy to get, then it's not like fun to collect in a way. Like make some challenges.
I've been saying that for 3 years.
You have been, and it's 100% how it is. Like some things, and in my opinion, most things that Funko makes, I think should be difficult to get. So, thank you, Dark Lord Viper. Good to see you. I just saw a few people signed up for our Patreon program, so thank you so much. If you guys did sign up recently, either as a channel member or a Patreon member, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram so we can get you added to one of our private group chats. Oh, and look at that, Dave. He says, cheers, happy new year, John, Josh, and Vince. It's going to be a great year, guys. 2024, it's going to be a fun year. I think we're already starting off on a good foot in the right direction, despite what a lot of people are saying about the sodas. Unless Funko comes out and says something, just take what everybody's saying with a grain of salt. Like, don't freak out, don't panic. There is meant to be lulls in the year. There's lulls with other companies too. They don't just, companies can't, like an effective business model, you can't just pump out product every single week and expect people to continue to come back buying and buying and buying and buying. That's not normal. That's not feasible. They have to understand, like, everything is cyclical. Everything is highs and lows. That's why, going back to movies, we were just talking about movies. The big time for movies is the summer. There's not really a lot of releases during, the fall and winter time, at least here in the United States. So it's same thing. It's cyclical. It comes in waves. It comes and goes. And that's why most of the big blockbusters are during the summer. So the blue group is the worst. The blue group, they're a special bunch, but we love them all. Oh, nice. Gator just got a World War II Captain America for 20% off PPG. Very nice. That leads us into, I think we tried to talk about it a few times tonight, but let's finally talk about the Funko sale, which I think at the end of the day is a good thing. I know some people might have some mixed things about it, but we'll just start off with the easy question. Did you guys buy anything from the sale?
Yes.
Did you buy a lot?
I actually didn't.
Oh, you didn't? You didn't buy anything?
Not the sale.
I did not buy as much as John, not even close as much as John. But I picked up some 3 liters.
Oh, there you go.
I was disappointed that a couple things weren't on sale that I would have picked up.
Me too.
So I think that's what disappointed. Like there was things I was like, I could get, but I was like, the things that I really wanted didn't go on sale. So I'm like, I'll wait for the next one. Like at this point, like I don't think those things they didn't put on sale are going to sell out anytime soon. So they're going to be on the next sale. Like they should have put more on sale. Truthfully, they should have.
I don't think they should have. I actually think, looking at it from a purely like bystander perspective, I think they did a good job. Trust me, as a collector, I'm right there. I wish the Peanuts coolers were 50% off. I wish some of the other stuff was 50% off, 70% off, whatever. But I actually think they did a good job of putting the stuff that should be near sold out or running out of inventory at the moment. Like that's the stuff that needs to be on sale. Like
the stuff that worries me though. It kind of worries me that the 3 liters at $12 each, I don't think they sold out at $12 each.
No. Because there's not that much demand for the 3 liters.
No, I know it's kind of a bummer, man. I think they're doing an amazing job. I really do. And I'm not not saying it because my wife hates them, but I really think they've done a pretty amazing job with all the 3 liters. I love the design that they. I mean, I would much rather have a 3 liter than a 10-inch pop.
The 3 liters need to be $30. Like the $40 is insane. I think people just don't have the space.
Yeah, and they got to be a lot more limited, and maybe that makes it not worth it for them to make. You know, maybe they can't make 3,000 and make money doing a 3 liter.
I think the hard thing is,
yeah, it's understandable. I mean, there's an opportunity cost. You know,
I think by this time, like some of the stuff should just stay on sale. Like, put it up and leave it on sale. Like, I get I get the semi-annual sale of some stuff, but some things have been on there for so long.
Some of the stuff
you need to get rid of.
You can't have things be permanently on sale from a business perspective, because look what you just said. You just said, "Oh, I'll wait till the next sale." If they have things that are eternally on sale, there is absolutely no motivation for people to go over there. Like if that
maybe the Winter Soldier soda can be on sale.
Well, like if the Oogie Boogie 3 liter was permanently $12, then people are like, then the people who were contemplating it during the sale period, if that's just extended indefinitely, they're not going to go over there and buy it. So that's just going to make it there longer at $12. If they at least put like a time period, like, hey, December 28th to January 3rd, it's going to be 70% off. That gives people like motivation, like, hey, I got to go grab 3 or 4 of them before January 3rd. Because if you see a soda or any sort of product go from $12 to $40 at the stroke of midnight, I bet you there was a bunch of people who were like, I got to go buy these right now.
But I think there should be some kind of discount at this point on some of the stuff. Like if you look at the sodas, there are sodas that are still on sale. There are some that are still on sale. Captain Carter, Black Adam. There's Ashy from Samurai Jack. There's Kahori. You know, like some things that were no numbered.
Well, that to me screams that they have lost faith in that product. Like Black Adam has been around so long, they're like, get it out of here. We can't even sell it at $5. Like they're like, just it's a
Winter Soldier. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Like they made 20,000 of them, which was a bad thing. But come on, you're going to still sell it for $18, more than what it came out for originally. By the way,
that one started at.
It wasn't $18 when we bought it.
Yeah, that one's been on the site so long that it actually increased in price and hasn't sold out.
Well, that was the other thing, that when they did the price hikes, they should have grandfathered in anything that was originally set at $12. They should have kept it $12. Anything at $15 should have been kept at $15. Like the universal price hikes, and Funko is not the only company who has learned the hard way or is learning the hard way from those price hikes. Like you're seeing a lot of stuff come down in price. Like overall, our economy, like not an economist, not a financial expert whatsoever, but I'm just saying I follow the stock market. I follow a lot of stuff. The U.S. economy actually weathered the storm fairly well in 2023. It could have been much worse than it was. It was still bad. And I know a lot of people, you know, suffered, had hardships and everything. So not discounting those situations whatsoever. But overall, the US came out okay in 2023. And I think you're going to see a lot of products across the board start to come down. And that's where I'm looking at like Funko and saying like, hey, are we going to bring these prices back down? Are we going to bring the sodas back down to $12?
No.
I think they might. I think if they want,
no, I don't think that anything's coming back down. I mean, I think unfortunately that's not how it typically works with economy.
I think it's
they've made everybody used to
sales.
Like they might. I think that is exactly what it'll be. There will be an increase of sales this year, which I think for a collectible company is kind of bad because it just doesn't build the excitement that it would. That's why they are going to have to just go to stuff that is a lot more limited pieces for the Funko Shop. Make the Funko Shop drops like really great again, instead of a lot of the Funko Shop stuff that they put up last year. Not a lot, but there's stuff that ended up at different retailers. Like I don't want to say necessarily Five Below, but like the discount stores ended up with Funko Shop exclusives.
Yeah,
that shouldn't happen with Funko Shop exclusives. Should not be produced at a quantity like you're sending to Hot Topic or Target or something like that. Funko Shop exclusives should be a lot lower count, in my opinion, and they should be stuff that's exciting that you should not have a super hard time selling out. Doesn't mean it has to sell out the same day, a week, a month, but Funko Shop stuff shouldn't be sitting there for a year, you know?
So, and this is a perfect example of like what I'm hinting at. So, like, if you raise the prices, every time you raise the price of anything, you are pricing out a portion of your, populace of people that were your customers. And I know this is happening really bad in places like Australia and Canada. $25 a soda in Canada is crazy. $35 a can in Australia is insane. If you get to a certain point where you're pricing out too much of your customer base, well, you're not going to be in business for very long. So that's why I think that Funko, I think they will be forced to bring the prices down at least a little bit on some
John,
things.
that's what makes me worry. I get what you're saying, but this is what I'm worried about. Because I think that they know that. I think that they know they're probably pricing people out. Unfortunately, they may need to sell it for what they're selling it for to turn a profit. Because businesses also, if they don't turn a profit, they won't stay in business. And unfortunately, because the sodas have been dialed back as much as they have been, that's where the bad sign for me is coming in. And are they limiting it now because they make so little on this, they can't put out the quantities that they have, which I'm okay with. Like, do a lot less sodas, do the less numbers and all that stuff. But, is that why they're peeling back? Because they have to charge more and they're going to sell less now. Like, they're only going to sell, let's say, 7,000 Velmas, where maybe, 3 years ago they could have done 15,000. Because if you're selling less,
I'm fine with that. 7,000 Velmas only means 1,400 chases. That's
great. I'm 100% good with it too. But what I'm saying is they're selling less, which they're not making as much of a profit, and now they're increasing their costs because they're not buying as many from their from production. I just think it's a bad recipe and a little bit of a worrisome thing.
You basically got to charge the hardcore collectors who are in it for the long haul. You're charging them more per item instead of appealing to the masses and being able to sell it cheaper. Like,
and we're saying we're okay with that because we didn't want the no numbered sodas. So like if they give me like a 7,000 piece Velma, will I pay $15 for that? I can make peace with that. Like the Hatbox Ghost wasn't, I think that was 13,000 piece, maybe a little bit high, but a cool different soda. I could make peace with that. There's other stuff that like there's no way I'm paying $15 and $18 for. I'm not paying $18 for a 20,000 piece Winter Soldier. Not that I don't like Winter Soldier, but it's a 20,000 piece. I can't justify doing that. So I think it's a combination of which characters are what, the amount that they're putting out. I think you could sell them for 15 and 18, but they had to be right. Unfortunately, international people, I think because of the way that taxes are going in import taxes and all that stuff, I don't think it's just Funko saying, and listen,
it's
maybe it is.
It's not.
There's got to be something that they're not doing it because they're making a lot more money. I have a feeling that it's a lot harder to get in certain, whatever the taxes and tariffs and all this stuff is to get it into different countries. I'm sure there's a reason because exactly what you said. They're pricing people out, or they're letting the hardcore collectors be able to grab a few and that's going to be it. They won't sell them to anybody else.
Well, and the other thing too is like they've clearly stopped. I mean, this I think we can all like get behind. Like I haven't seen a new international soda in what, like a year now? It's been a long time. So I think
it's got to be because of the price. I mean, the pricing that.
But I think not having the availability of, I'm talking about like the actual like international soda cans, like not having that extra run of international sodas. I think that has truly hurt the international collectors because now those sodas, which were specifically allocated for other markets, are not being produced. So now
those
truly. Well, I'm just saying, like now,
though?
truly, were they sold cheaper? They were sold cheaper initially. They weren't $35 to Australians.
Right.
I mean, that's how they initially started collecting
sodas. Right.
So, but now the runs are accurate. So, like that 13,000 piece Hatbox Ghost is actually 13,000 pieces worldwide. Yeah. It's not 13,000 plus another 7 combined 20,000. So now the whole Funko world economy is sharing that 13,000 piece soda. So I think it probably has to do with exactly what you said. These retailers have to import the US designated Hatbox Ghost soda, and it must be so freaking expensive that unfortunately they now have to pass the buck to the customers, because that's at the end of the day, like, if each person in the chain of supply wants to stay in business and make a profit, at the end of the day, the customers just have to pay up. We're the end of the train. We're the end of the food chain.
I think one of the things you're seeing too is, like, I just went over to Funko Europe. There's only 18 sodas on Funko Europe right now. 18 sodas. How many are on the US? Take a guess.
I don't know, 50?
42.
94.
94.
Now, all of them aren't out. There's a couple that aren't, like Maui and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, even if we say 85, probably of them are out. Like, how much of a difference that is alone, too, because Funko Europe used to have comparable to Funko Shop and soda.
With that being said, though, they never sold, even when they were just a little bit more, they never sold out super fast. Like, there was stuff that I remember when the Blacklight Alice in Wonderland stuff came out. That stuff sold out within minutes. I remember I missed out on the whole thing, but it was on there for days, if not weeks. So there's never been the same demand. And I'm not saying we don't have international collectors that are suffering, because I know we have these
that's
huge
when they had
people.
International cans too.
Yes.
So I think that's a big play off of this too, is that Funko Europe had international cans, because if you ordered those Alice in Wonderland Blacklight, they were international, not
they
regular.
were international.
Yeah.
And maybe that is why they were able to sell them.
But also, I kind of blame Funko. What they should have, and this is something that I hope they get to the point, like, I hope they have, like, a Funko Australia site and store. I hope they have, like, a Funko Asia, if they put, like, a location in China or a location in, I don't, Philippines. Like, there's no reason why there isn't, like, a Funko Philippines shop and, an actual store in the Philippines as well. And every single, like, how it should be is that, like, the day of San Diego Comic-Con, like that Thursday, when stuff goes live on, like, the US Funko shop, there should, it should go live equally around the world, the same products, so that collectors in every single region have the same opportunities as collectors here in the United States. So that way people aren't having to pay, like, absorbent amount of money to, import, like, oh, I gotta go hook up, or call my American friend who knows somebody who's going to San Diego Comic-Con. Like, no, like, there should be, and obviously there should always be, like, limited stuff that's con only, in person only, whatever. But I don't know. I just think that Funko should be focusing on getting to a business model that gets to that point, even if, like, let's say they come out with, like, a new, I don't know, Supergirl soda. Even if there's only 5,000 pieces of that Supergirl soda available in each region of the world, and it all sells out, well, then congratulations, Funko. You just sold out, let's say it was like a 25,000 piece total soda, but you sold 5,000 of each one in each of your major regions. Boom, you just sold 25,000 pieces, but there was only 5,000 pieces available in each continent. Like, that's what I feel like they should be getting to, They want to expand, right? They want to go from being a billion-dollar company to being a multi-billion-dollar company. Well, how do you expand? You tap into other markets. And I feel like they've been trying to do that, but at the same time, like, they don't even ship to Canada. So, like, we need to figure that out.
Well, I think, and also using their partners a little better in these other countries. I feel like they've kind of gone away from, like, I don't feel like those partners maybe feel as much love for getting the exclusives and everything that they needed at the time. And I'd be curious, as you see Toys R Us in Canada, like, they had a lot of the exclusives that were from cons and things like that for a while, like soda wise especially. I thought it seemed like they got the bulk of some of those that were around, but it's also, that's when international was around and things like that. And I think that's I don't know, like, I wonder this this whole thing we talked about, like the change of how many sodas we're seeing, is kind of one, getting rid of the unlimited took them some time to finally like say, okay, we're going to cut production of these. That stopped production of all these things that were planned to come out, though, too. Could have been like a bunch of things already planned, and they're like, nope, we're going to stop that. We're going to shift. We're going to focus on this. Oh, we're not going to do international anymore. We're going to shift focus on here. If we make a can that says 7,000 pieces, it's only 7,000 pieces. It's not 7,000 here, 5,000 for international. It's 7,000. But then they need to figure out how to divvy those up with their partners and say, okay, well, pop culture, we're going to send you, even if it's just 1,000 or out of the 7,000, we're going to send you 1,000 of them, or 800 of them, or whatever they're going to do, but figure out how they're going to do those kind of things.
Yeah. Doug, I'm so happy you got your puck. It was a excuse me, it was a pleasure to sign them. Yeah, this is weird. Louisa, this is a great point. She said, so Louisa's in Australia, hence Aussie Pop Gal. She said, it's weird Funko ships me NFTs, but I can't buy from the shop. Like that's so bizarre. Like
yeah, I've never understood how all that stuff works.
Yeah. And then Josh, thank you for providing some insight here. So he says, so Canada switched to GameStop as our main door for Funko, with 95% of the Funko Shop exclusives going there. Even before the US, Walmart just got back on track this week. And again, things before the Funko Shop US. Yeah, super, super weird. So, but I also think that they're in limbo with a lot of the major retailers like they're like the big box stores, GameStop, Target, Walmart. Although like you still see stuff going to Walmart, going to Target, going to GameStop. Yeah. It's weird. It's not consistent, because I went into our GameStop and our Target yesterday and they both had nothing new, like not since New York Comic Con. And I've seen some people have some success with like the new Thrawn, the Target exclusive. I haven't seen a single Thrawn at my Target, although the whole section looks like it was like
your Target's always bad, John.
Yeah, it's terrible. So they could have had like 50 Thrawns and they could all just be gone because people just came and swooped them up. And I know they are profitable on the aftermarket. So I'm sure, I think that's the first flippable pop we've had from Target in a while.
I think each location's so very different too, because even around me, I probably have within 30 minutes of me 6 Targets. And each one of them is very different of what they carry, how much they carry, how big the collectible section is, how much they might carry them in the collectible section versus also the toy section now, and those kind of things too. But I will say the company that have stayed most consistent with Funko, at least in the last several years, is Hot Topic. If you're going to talk about a retailer that stayed the most consistent and had most consistent exclusives, drops, things like that. That's why I was really surprised New York Comic Con, there were so few within. They had one exclusive with Hot Topic, but they also did the whole Fright Fair, or the
Hot Topic Con.
The Hot Topic Fright Fair things, or whatever they were called, during that time too. So those were kind of like their drop of exclusives, which probably did pretty good for them overall.
Yeah, I see a lot of people saying they haven't seen any new stuff in their Walmarts. Targets get Walmart is in a while.
Barren.
Walmart. Yeah. You know what's funny though? Like, did anyone go to like Target maybe 2 or 3 days before Christmas? Did you guys go through the toy aisle on Target?
I did.
Like the cleared out Lego aisle, like the ghost town of Legos, and like
the pop section was pretty stacked up though.
Pops were pretty stocked up.
Because there was, I will say for our Target, the 2 days I went, like 2-3 days, like you're saying, before Christmas, there was a lot of 4-inch pops that were gone. I noticed that, but any of the rides, comic book covers, albums, deluxe, like larger pops, all that stuff was still there.
Yeah. Man, that like all, like you look at the Lego section, it was cleared out.
It's always that way.
It's always that way. I mean,
Yeah.
well, actually, it's always funny. It's always that way, except for like some scraps of like Mario sets and Minecraft. There's
Yeah.
always a few of those stragglers. But Lego is a whole different animal because people buy Lego for as gifts for like kids, nieces, and nephews they barely know.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you're not buying a kid a Funko Pop that you barely know. But if you if you know them well and you know they like Lego, then you're definitely buying them a Lego set. Like that's why Lego's so universal. But if you don't know a kid, you're like, oh well, he might like Lego. Even he could be like the biggest anti-Lego kid on the planet, but you're still gonna buy it for him because you're like, oh, I don't know what else to buy him. You know.
I mean, I'll be honest. I went to Five Below though, also during that time, and the pop section. A lot of people were looking at those. I think price point wise for like a gift like that, not that
Or
you want to see them
Secret
at
Santa.
Five Below per se, but a lot of people were picking those up.
It's a perfect, like, especially all the minis and stuff. They're stocking stuffers and things like that too.
I picked up a mini.
I love the retro like Rudolph minis that were out.
Oh
yeah.
Those look really good. I thought those looked really good.
I think I got a case of those here.
I did notice. Oh, that was the other thing. So good point. With Target, all the biddies were gone. The biddies were sold out. So those people were obviously buying those as like stocking stuffers or something. So
they had the biddies at the Five Below also.
They have any pop keys
which
for
is,
you?
I think that's good for stocking stuffers and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think I saw Cross Save complain. He said, I'm not buying any biddies because I'm tired of seeing the ads on YouTube for the biddies from Funko. The biddies are selling. Like people are buying them. So I expect those to be coming out in full force in 2024.
It's a totally different audience they're going after with those. Like that's the thing with those. They're just like, I mean, what are those? The Shopkin, all the stuff,
Mini
the little balls that are like, how many of those were at Target when you went there too? And they still had tons of those left, like all the different food things. All that stuff's so cheap to make for them. A lot of them.
Yeah. And there's endless possibilities because there's endless chases and variants and stuff like that. Like
that's what they went after, is that market right there. They wanted to tap into little kids don't want 20 pops, but little kids want 20 little tiny mini pops.
Absolutely.
Like that kind of thing.
That's insane. 10 chases at Five Below since November.
That's it.
More chases than I've seen in my life.
I've only seen one in my whole life.
Louisa said, did anybody pick up any of the January 1st Lego releases? She got the Polaroid camera, the ukulele, the roller skate, and flower can. Man, I am so sad to say that I did not get any of the January 1st stuff. The only thing I got was I picked up some of the new CMFs. So they're on the way. So, but yeah, it's going to be a tough year for us. Very strict budget. The Polaroid camera looks awesome though, so I'm excited to hopefully get that for Joanna at some point. Have you all seen the Tiny Mite Scooby-Doo figures? They're super awesome. I have
seen a couple of people open those. I'm afraid to buy any more stuff like that, but yeah, you might see us open a couple of those.
Oh damn! Elena got the new Spider-Man mask.
God, that one looked cool.
It does look cool. I need it at some point. Oh man, a bunch of people got some of the new Lego sets. Look at it. See, look at that. Funko's helping out Lego. Funko had a lull right now, and everybody's going after it. Says, there's no sodas right now. I'll go buy a new Lego set. There you go.
Makes sense.
Where's the 3-liter Freddy Funko? Oh my gosh. Yes, I temporarily forgot about this.
I forgot about that.
I will say too, I was thinking about Lego set. Like, I'm glad there's only like a couple really big ones that recently came out. Like, most of them are actually decently priced. Like,
okay. Well, circling back to what I was saying about lowering prices, I think that Funko is going to be a company that's going to have to do what Lego's doing. Lego is not necessarily reducing prices, but they are making a lot of products in the lower price bracket.
You can only sell so many $500 sets. I
yeah,
mean,
they're slowing down heavily on the big sets, which I think is a very smart move because how many people are going to buy a $500 set? Probably like
Right.
0.1% of the population. So there is a Miles Morales Blacklight 4-pack. It's pretty cool. I have not seen it in stores, but pretty cool. Yeah, that 3-liter Freddy. You know, it exists though because we didn't see a glam shot. Like we saw a picture of the physical 3-liter. You know,
Yeah,
it
on
was
a desk.
sitting there. Yeah, it exists. Like that's
thought.
if that's the last 3-liter they drop, that's fine. Just drop it.
And Maui.
Like,
Give me Maui. You got it on the site. You got to
well,
do
yeah,
Maui.
they're gonna do Maui, of course. See, what the thing is though, like when I want something, like I'm fine with paying it. Like I will pay $40.
Oh no, Maui! I'm
Freddy
going. For,
3-liter.
I'll buy immediately.
Yeah, $40 for Maui, 100%. Yeah,
Bumble, I bought immediately. I'm okay. $40, I don't think is. I think that for the good ones, it's worth it.
yeah.
Like I'm okay with it. I would be sad if they stopped the 3-liters. I do. I really do like. The design is great on most of them.
Dan, I wish the last $500 Lego set was the Titanic. No, there's been like 10 since then. It's been insane. Yeah, there's been
500 plus. 500 is not. I mean,
plus. That's when they're on sale. That's when they marked it down on sale because they can't sell it for $750.
Avengers Tower and Gringotts and all kinds of crazy stuff. Don't go on the website; you'll cry. $40 is chump change. Yeah. Oh wow! Congratulations, Anna. That's awesome. She finished the Avengers Tower before the end of New Year's. Took 3 days. Oh man, you're living my dreams. One day.
Yeah.
One day.
I still look at our Mickey Castle. We've had it here for 3.5 years now.
Have you guys not built it yet?
No, it's literally sitting in the box. Right.
Oh,
right
dude, you guys got to build it. Like you've already done the hard part. You've already bought it.
No,
build it.
We've got it. We bought that Disney castle while we were at Disney. We got 20% off. I remember we had to bring like its own suitcase. We had to like leave clothes behind so we could get the Lego set home.
Oh man,
it's worth it though.
I mean, we have the
Coliseum at the box for 3 years.
So,
that's right. You guys have the Coliseum, right, Josh?
Coliseum is insane. I remember carrying that from Disney Springs, trying to get it back to the car at Disney Springs, like from the Lego shop, and carrying it. And they try to put these like they can't fit in a bag. So
they just put the tape
on it. And I was like, and still, it's like there's no. It's so awkward to carry, and it's so heavy. I'm like, all right, we got to take breaks. We got to like figure out how to do this.
Brian, there you go. My husband got me the Friends apartment Lego set for Christmas. It's my first Lego set, and I can't wait to put it together. That's a good one to get to. They just retired that one, so that was a good buy. That was a really good buy. Congratulations. Yeah, or you could do what Brian did. So speaking of $500 sets, once again, I'm still super grateful to what CrossSave did. He actually sent me the Hulkbuster, which Joanna wasn't happy about because she never wanted to see that set in our collection. But I'm excited about it because somebody actually made instructions online for how to actually improve that set. And they actually took the same pieces and they just released instructions that you can buy and you can build a much better version than the version.
I've got the OG Hulkbuster and I'm very happy with that.
Yeah,
one.
the smaller
Hulkbuster one.
The smaller Hulkbuster is better, but I'm excited for this project because I wanted to do it. I was going to save up eventually and try to get the Hulkbuster on sale, but now that I have this one from Brian, it's going to be a perfect project that I cannot wait to make content on. Yeah, the Star Wars Lego. You know what? That's the other thing too. I actually think, and now we're going down this Lego tangent really quick. Lego is a perfect example. They had record sales throughout November and December. And I almost think that it's kind of a good sign for like Funko and some of these other companies, because even a company as popular as Lego, almost 100-year-old company, they were having crazy sales out the wazoo. So just showing you that like even that established fan base and customer base can't keep up with all their products. So the stuff that we've been experiencing here in the Funko community is pretty synonymous to what's happening in other collecting communities.
Oh, it's 100%. This is not a Funko thing. I mean, Hasbro, Mattel, I like all of it.
Yeah,
Hasbro just had a
some
gigantic layoff of
layoffs like
employees.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some of their
Crazy.
stuff is ending up at discount stores as well. Like this is not a Funko thing. Lego was Lego was still in the same boat, I think, with a lot of the, they're a bigger company and probably can absorb more. But yeah, it's definitely a collectible thing across the board and an economy thing across the board.
See the differences between, like, if you want to compare companies like Lego and Funko, like Funko is a baby compared to Lego, and Lego has been through so many massive storms. And I think that's why people like kind of panic more in the Funko community, is because Funko has not had to go through huge storms. Like, they've gone through some trouble here and there, prices going down. I think some of the stuff has been self-inflicted for the most part, but they haven't been close to bankruptcy or any of the stuff that Lego has gone through. So I think people flinch more. But you go over to the Funko there, you go over to the Lego side of things, like those collectors, like they don't flinch because it's highs and lows, So I'm hoping that like 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road with Funko, like people just don't flinch. Like, we have our highs and we enjoy our highs, but then when we hit bumps in the road, we just go, okay, like we trust the company to fix it, make, the right decision, and to put out some stuff that people actually want to collect. And that's it. So, but guys, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark already. So, a lot of great points tonight, a lot of great discussion, and I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. There were so many great comments and questions tonight. Thank you guys so much for coming out again for the first big PFO here of 2024. But Josh, what do you got going on for everybody to look forward to in the next week or so?
Yeah, so we took a break with the holidays after all the holiday stuff and kind of New Year's. We took a break, and then also we had some crazy water problems with our sink this week, so we didn't have auction or anything last night. So I moved it to next week. We're doing a Funko Pop auction, then we're going to do a Funko Soda auction the next week after that, and then also on February 9th we're doing our big charity auction. So
that's right.
Coming up in about a little over a month, we're looking at it. So I'll say now, I'll start hitting up people, and if you're interested in donating anything or sending anything, or if like you guys want to come on or anything like that, like let me know, because we'll be doing that on a Friday night instead this time, and having some more time to do stuff and stay on a little later and all those good things. But also, everything goes to scholarships like it has before. We are putting out some new content. I have a really cool chomp that I need to open.
Oh, nice.
A little bigger than usual. So I have that chomp to open, unbox. I also have a couple good mystery boxes coming up, including a big Ralphie's mystery box that'll probably be coming up for next week. So you're going to see some bigger mystery boxes, and then a couple other fun things coming out that we had planned. Like you said, with that, not as many sodas dropping, I don't think we're going to be doing Soda Saturday for every week for a little while too. So we might be mixing up the content on like Soda Saturday, Sunday on the weekends, because we haven't had as much new stuff. I do have some older stuff to still open and things like that to go through, but we haven't been getting much in soda wise, I would say.
It happens.
Yeah. So we'll be having some videos out this weekend. We'll have a video out, and then of course back to the regular kind of schedule next week. So
Louisa, I'm so happy you were able to hang out with us tonight. I know it's like probably crazy timing over there on the other side of the world, or maybe it's like lunchtime. Yeah, it's probably lunchtime out there. Yeah, she's hanging out. So we're so excited when we get to see our international fam in the house. But Vince, what do you got?
Actually, we've got stuff coming out this week. So I believe we're going to be doing our family live on Sunday. I am pretty sure that's what me and Bree agreed upon before I came down here tonight. Most likely it'll be 8 p.m. If you follow us on Instagram or here, we'll mention it again. So I believe that's going to be on Sunday. I'm not sure yet if it's going to be Saturday's video, Tuesday's video, or Thursday's video this week. But we have our top 5 mystery box companies of the year.
Ooh,
Like I
nice.
compiled all of our boxes. I know what the percentage we got back from all of the companies. Which ones did we get the biggest return on? Which ones did we like the best? Which ones maybe we didn't love that much? So we're going to be able to go all over that and get to our top 5. We did our kind of review video of the year. We also will have our top 5 polls of the year video coming out in the next week or so. So we got some different stuff mixed in with our mystery boxes that like their video that we dropped today. We had a Smile World mystery box. So we've got a bunch of mystery boxes coming up as well. That's
Nice.
it for now.
Gerald, have a great night. And shout out to Aussie Pop and Paul for not only hitting 1,000 subscribers, he's also doing his first live stream. What do you say? Tomorrow. That's awesome.
Nice. Awesome.
So if you guys aren't doing anything, what time is the live stream? Pop and Paul. Let everybody know so we can get some people over there. But yeah, we got some fun stuff coming up. It's actually been it was kind of nice and kind of strange at the same time. So Joanna and I killed ourselves and we filmed like 8 videos ahead. So we didn't have to film any videos for like 2 weeks during the holidays, which was good and bad. It was good because we got ahead, but it was also bad because I didn't get to do like some of the more in-depth like year-end review content that I wanted to do. So I think I'm going to try to spit out a few of those videos in the next week or so. But I think as long as everything goes to plan with the mail service, we should be getting a very large shipment of 3-liter sodas tomorrow. So we might be doing a 3-liter battle for Saturday, which Joanna might not be happy about because I think after we did the last video, she's like, please don't make me open up a 3-liter for a long time.
I tell you what, there's something.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. So she's gonna open up like 10 of them. We're just gonna do it. But we got that coming up, and then we'll have regular videos next week and such. It's tough. I just got back to the office, like back to the grind, just like I know a majority of you guys probably have as well. It definitely is making me wish the holidays were a little bit longer. They definitely went by really quick, but really enjoyed them nonetheless. But guys, thank you so much for all the support. Been a lot of great comments, a lot of feedback, especially over the last few weeks here on our channel. And I'm sure the same thing with Josh and Vince. I know there's some newer collectors who just found us. So guys, welcome. I hope you enjoy collecting. I hope you enjoy the hobby, and just know that it's definitely not all bad. I know there's some pockets of negativity here and there in the community, but it is not all bad. This is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a good time. And I think our community is a really good representation of that positivity that a lot of people are looking for and searching for here on YouTube and other platforms. So I think that's going to do it for us tonight. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and great weekend. And I'm sure we'll see you guys at some point, either here on YouTube, over on Whatnot, or on Instagram very soon. So as always, don't stop shooting until you score. We'll see you later.
Night, everyone.